Welcome to another edition of Question and Answer with a Criminal Defense Attorney. I'm Mark Solomon, a defense attorney in Denver, Colorado, and today's question is about reckless driving. But before we get to that, don't forget to click like on this video if you're enjoying it and subscribe with a little bell next to it to be notified of future videos. Let's get to the question. What is reckless driving? I like to start this by answering the first best question is, what is recklessness? Recklessness is when a person consciously disregards a substantial and unjustifiable risk that a circumstance exists or that a result will occur. And that's just your basic definition of recklessness. It works for reckless driving, reckless endangerment, reckless homicide, anything with the word reckless in it, including assault and battery. I'll even try to put a card up here for assault because recklessness is another way you can be convicted of an assault. But that's what recklessness means. The penalty for it here in Colorado is an 8 points on your driver's license, a fine, and up to 90 days in jail if it's a state charge, up to a year in jail if it's a municipal charge, depending on the municipality. So what exactly is it? A person who is driving a vehicle in such a manner as to indicate either wanton or willful disregard for the safety of persons commits reckless driving. This statute, in the state statute, also has a enhanceable penalty, as in the first offense is that up to 90 days, but a second offense is punishable by up to 6 months in jail, and the fine goes up. So obviously it's bad. The more times you have a reckless driving conviction, the more the penalty is. But also, reckless driving is what's known as a habitual traffic offender strike, HTO. So, and I'll get to this in another video, but basically reckless driving, DUI, driving under revocation, this is part of those types of charges that can allow the Department of Revenue, the licensing facility here in Colorado, to suspend your license for up to 5 years because of your status as a habitual traffic offender. We'll talk more about the penalties and all the other things that go into a habitual traffic offender in another video. If you want to hear more sooner, put it in the comments below and we'll get to it sooner for you. Okay, so how is reckless driving typically charged here in Colorado? And the answer is, if you're doing something that just looks dangerous, unsafe, you're driving like a maniac, that is reckless driving. If you hit somebody because of excessive speed or you're going too fast, you can't slow down, you will probably be charged with reckless driving as opposed to careless driving. My favorite example of the difference between reckless and careless driving, if you are weaving in and out of traffic and you're barely missing bumpers, but nobody gets hurt, nobody slams on their brakes, that's probably reckless driving because it's a conscious disregard of a known and substantial risk. Whereas if a person is driving sloppily and weaving in and out of traffic, that's probably careless because they're just not paying enough attention without due regard. Over here. See the video that I did yesterday for careless driving for that. But driving without due regard is careless. Substantial and unjustifiable risk that you knew you were taking, that's reckless driving. And again, 8 points, which is a major deal because you only have the ability to get 11 points in a single year without losing your license for points. If you get 12 points, you will lose your license for points. And if you get 18 points in 2 years, you'll lose your license for points. And that's for people 18 or over. So if you want more information about the point system here in Colorado, put it in the comments below. I'll get to that in a video sooner rather than later. But that is the question and answer for today. If you would like your own question answered, put it in the comments below, tag me on Twitter, or email it to me. And as always, you have a right to remain silent. If a police officer asks you about what you have, what you know, what you've done, where you've been, anything, you have a right to say, I don't want to talk to you. And if they persist, you have a right to say, I want a lawyer.